Hi, this is Alvin with Kickstart Commerce, and I'm back here with another tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're going to talk about geoservice and keyword domains. How do you develop and flip them? And so, if you're into domain investing, one of the first things that I encourage you to do is to read the generating qualified traffic using local domain names. You can just search for that on kickstartcommerce.com and pull this up, read it. It goes into how you can actually use local domain names to boost your business. And so, a lot of small businesses get into, I guess you'd say, the rut of my domain name has to be the same as my business. So, Joe Bob's lawn mowing service. He wants to have joebobslawnmowing.com. When in actuality, it will do Joe Bob a lot better to have, if he lives in Georgetown, Texas, Georgetown Lawn Care.com versus Joe Bob's. Obviously, one of the things here that this tutorial will walk through is pretty much how you can go through and develop, if you're wanting to develop or if you're wanting to just flip domain names, um, how you can actually create a pretty profitable business doing geoservice and keyword domains. So read this blog post. I provide you 8 steps for selecting and optimizing local domain names for local SEO. Not only that, but I also provide you with a tool um, that'll help you actually determine your keywords as well as your geoservice. So, with that, one of the things that I will say, if you're going to develop geoservice and keyword domains, whether it's development or flipping, one of the things that you want to be sure is don't go out and buy like 50 or 100 names or even 25 names. What I encourage you to do is test your theory with 5 domain names, and then establish before you go out and buy domains. Establish a plan of action, meaning whether or not what you're going to do. Are you going to develop? Are you going to auction? Or are you going to sell the names or websites? So do that before you purchase the names. Have a plan in place. Also, make sure that you have funds in place. I know that many times for those who get started in domain name investing, you're taking your hard-earned money from your day job and you're just basically pumping it into domain names. And if you're not careful, you go out and buy 100 names and you don't know if this proof of concept will even work for you based on your background, based on your knowledge and what you know in terms of certain industries and markets, then you will have just wasted, money. So for instance, you go out and you spend $15 for 100 domains, and that's $1,500. Well, reality says instead of buying 100 worthless domains, you could have bought at least one good domain for that $1,500 that would have increased its value even if you do nothing. Um, so, before you go out and start this purchasing spree, be sure that you have proper domain funds, which is why I suggested you start with 5 domains. You can not go out for lunch for 2 weeks and come up with 5 domains. You can probably do it in a week. Um, so next on the list is when you're choosing your geo service and keyword domains, make sure that you focus on cities with 50,000 K. 50,000 in terms of the population. So you want to be certain to not go below 50,000. At least for me, I've not had success in being able to flip domain names just because the population and the traffic wasn't there. Now that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So one of the things that I do, I only focus on cities that have common name. So I type in something like common name U.S. cities, and it comes up. And this first list is Wikipedia, and I'll go ahead and open it. You can use it. Now, I did find one that I liked, and it was an infographic, and they put it in great terms. And I think this is just phenomenal and this is why I focus personally on geos of common city names in the U.S. is because if you focus only on one city and it's only in one state, you only have just one opportunity. And if things go south, then what? You will have lost your money. Whereas if you take these top 10 cities, for instance, I live in Austin, Texas, and I live near Georgetown, Texas. I can actually show you and go, hey, if there's a Georgetown tree trimming service, then if I can't sell it here in Texas, I've got all these other states, and I'm pretty sure that they have trees that need to be trimmed. So, needless to say, work with cities that are commonly named U.S. cities, and that will increase your odds of having success. The next thing is finding your keywords and do the same search. Just focus on searching for keywords, and I'm not going to do it here just for the sake of time of this tutorial, but focus on finding commonly used or commonly searched keywords. And you can take those keywords and append them to the geo. So, for instance, in this example, I was using the tree trimming service or tree service. You can just use the geo Georgetown and the keyword or keyword phrase tree service, and then concatenate those and append.com to the end of it, and there you have a domain name. Now, another little trick that I use is using something that most people probably hadn't seen in a while, an old phone book. Pull out an old phone book and go through, just flip through some of the categories of the business listings in there and begin to append those keywords to the geo. So you wind up with things like Georgetown Plumbing, Georgetown Roofing, or whatever your geo is. So use that to your advantage. So if you don't have a phone book, get your hands on one and put it to good use. You'll probably want to create a spreadsheet, which I've created a spreadsheet that I use. And so, for instance, I just basically come in here and I type tree service, and then I get a list. And these are my commonly used cities in the U.S. And then the number of cities, that are for that one city. I don't necessarily worry about states. I just worry about, hey, the number of times that it shows up. So I then can take this, copy it, and then head over to something like to GoDaddy, and then do a bulk search with that list, and you just copy and paste your list of domain names in here. Click go. And it'll take a few moments here for them to go through bulk registration. But essentially, what'll happen? It'll tell you the ones that are registered, and then it'll tell you the ones that are not registered. And so, what you want to watch out for instance, so Fairview, this is a good one because it is on the list. If I can ever get the act right, let's see here. So we'll paste in Fairview, and typically what I do is I'll just paste it in and just to see what happens. Does it come up? No. So something can happen here, and this is why I kind of focus on this part. Even if it shows up that it is available, sometimes it is available, but it's a premium name, meaning that it's already purchased by another company, but they're reselling it. So you have to watch out with those names. If the name is available at hand registration price, meaning at normal price that it has not been registered before, go ahead. You can feel free to buy it if that's what you want to do. Make sure that the population is above 50,000. In this case, I know that, for instance, there's a Fairview, Texas that has something like, I want to say 7,000 people in it. So I know that, okay, Fairview wouldn't be a good name. Whereas, if we go back to the Georgetown example, if I put in Georgetown, Texas, the good thing about Google is it'll pop up with that city, and then you're able to see the population. So Georgetown meets my criteria because it's almost 55,000 people. Um, so that being said, you want to focus on that. Now the other thing that you'll want to do. So in this case, let's just say the keyword was tree service. So I want to be sure that I can find out what the exact value is. So I go to the Google AdWords, I go under tools and go to the keyword planner. And then you can type in tree service, and notice that I have brackets here at the end. Reason I want those brackets is because I want to know the exact. I don't want a broad search. I want to know the exact times that this phrase has been, searched. So I click get volume, and there it shows the average monthly searches. It shows the competition. In most cases, it's counterintuitive to think this way, but you want this to be high. Reason being is that lets you know that it is a highly competitive word, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to have people or businesses already showing PPC ads. That being said, you want to pay attention to the cost per click. This is a decent cost per click. Now, sometimes what I do, if I just want to quick flip the domain, I'll come in, get the average search, multiply it by the suggested CPC or bid cost. And then I'll just set that domain in auction. So if we go back to domains here and go to auction and GoDaddy, you can search by geo if you want. And so in this instance, we'll type in Georgetown. And you can go through these. And for this example, I knew that Georgetown tree service, so it's available. It can actually be purchased. Matter of fact, you have 14 hours left until this 10 drops to $8. And so what it means buy now is you can go in and create an account. I can buy this right now, and it will be placed into my account probably within 7 days should the previous owner not renew it. If the previous owner renewed it, you get all your money back. Now, interesting enough, there's a GeorgetownBookkeeping.com. That's a nice domain name. It's only a year old, but seeing that Georgetown is a commonly used phrase, I'm pretty sure that there are bookkeepers who are probably naming their company Sally Bookkeeping or Ted's Bookkeeping. They live in Georgetown. If they had a Georgetown focus, there it is. I mean, this could be your business name right here. And here it is in expiring auction and starting bid of $12. It looks like there's 1 day and 11 hours left. So who knows? I may come back and bid on that. Nevertheless, once you're able to figure out your geo and your keyword and you put it into that little fancy spreadsheet that I showed you there, obviously once you get done with this keyword, you can put it in this column, keyword used, and then begin to develop keywords that haven't been used in this column. So needless to say, once you go through all of that, one thing to keep in mind is take your keyword and go search for it. So for instance, if you put in Georgetown tree, now you see I didn't even complete service and it's already popping up in the autocomplete. That tells you that that's a good term that it's been searched. So click on it. Bingo, it comes back with 4 ads. I then begin another spreadsheet where I list the domain name, I list the phone number as well as the email. Now I'll show you a little trick here, and actually before I show you that little trick, you want to get these in here, the ones with the ads, because these companies are spending monthly pay-per-click advertising. So they have a monthly cost. So what if you could get a domain name, prove to them that they're going to rank better with this domain name, and could probably reduce, if not eliminate, their PPC cost by using a geo service domain name that's in line with their business. So take those and put those into a spreadsheet. And what I do is I skip the first 2 pages because typically if you're ranking already, you're already getting traffic. So it's not going to really even matter any if you try to get the businesses that are on the first page. What you want to focus on are pages 3 through 10. So go to each page, look down each of those services, and if they have a website, email, phone number, put them into your spreadsheet. Now, what I'll show you is if you can't find a phone number, what I did, and I did this for a chiropractor in Seguin, Texas here. Um, let's see if I can pull it up. And it was, yeah, it was the Pecan Country Chiropractic. So what I did, I came down here to the searches related, saw this Pecan, and what I did was I saw that they had a Facebook page. Well, I knew a little bit about Facebook is that you can have a Facebook page, and the good thing about it is a lot of times on their about page. So if we go to the about and we click page info, if you can't find the email on their website, then you're able to find it right here on Facebook. And so the next step is once you compile this list of companies that are on pages 3 through 10 in Google, compile the list. And then basically at this point, all you have to really decide is once you have your domain name, do you want to develop? If you are, then go ahead and develop the site. But realize it's probably going to take you 6 to 9 months to get it ranked. Now, if you just want to flip the domain real quick, easy enough. You buy the domain, you come in, you can set up you an auction account here at GoDaddy. I'm not going to go through that. GoDaddy actually makes it quite simple. You can just click the join now, fill out that information. I believe it's something like $4 or something like that a year plus expenses to list the name. But you list those names, and then from the spreadsheet that you're created with the companies, now you're ready to craft an email message that looks like such. So you can say, hi, enter their first name. I recently came across your website as I did a search for enter the geo keyword. I currently own the state the domain or website, which one it is, rather. I wanted to send you a quick email to inform you that the following state, whether it's domain or websites again, are in buy it now auction or available for purchase. Then right below that, I insert the actual domain names or website names. Now, you can do this. What I tell most people is look for variations. So I did Seguin Chiropractor, and I did SeguinChiro.com, Seguin Chiropractor, Seguin Chiropractic. I listed all three of those there. Then I came down below here at line 12, listed them again, and then placed their auction um, link right next to them. And then I pretty much close out this email by going, hey, if you click the link and it opens up and you're not able to buy it, that means somebody else bought it. And then last but not least, make sure that you put a professional signature. I can't tell you how many times that signature, putting a professional signature there has brought so much business. So that's the email trick. Now, if you want to put the combo on it, what I call the combo is the email and voicemail combo. So you send the email, but then you follow up with the voicemail, and it's imperative that you get sent to voicemail. So you probably want to try to call after hours. Send the email, follow it up with a voicemail, and say, "Hey, introduce yourself, introduce your company. I sent you an email that you may or may not have seen. I own state whatever domains or websites you own. And if you're going to develop them, the good thing is you can say, hey, I've developed the site and they're ranking right now on page 1 in Google for these terms. Why don't you take a few minutes, go pull up a web browser, type in those terms, and see for yourself where the website ranks. That right there alone, the email voicemail combo has provided so much business to a point that they come back and say, okay, I want to purchase the website. Now, you have a decision. Either you sell the website, or what you can do is lease the website. So because you have it ranked, you're probably going to be getting leads and phone calls. Now all you got to do is just partner with them to go, you know what, all the leads that come from this site, they go to you, but you're going to pay me something, 250 bucks. I just throw that off the top of my head, only because it's really going to depend on what type of industry you're in. If you're in AC or heating and cooling, you know, you can do something like, hey, I want 3% or even 10% of every sale you get. Now, if they start putting in brand new units, I mean, brand new units sometimes for, two-story residential house, or, can run anywhere from 6 to 10 grand. That's $600 if you actually work a deal for 10% of of the sale. So work the email, voicemail combo, and other than that, wash, rinse, and repeat. Like I said, be sure that you focus on um, establishing what your plan is, whether you're going to develop or whether you're going to flip. Start out with 5 domains first. Once you've proven yourself successful and profitable with those domains, then begin to build based upon the cities that you found success in. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's it for this tutorial. As I close, please visit kickstartcommerce.com. Come over here to the right hand side with the Facebook like box. Click that like box. Definitely come visit us on Facebook, as well as follow us on Twitter. You can get to Twitter by going to the bottom of the page here and clicking on the Twitter link. As well, I also invite you to sign up. I post daily auctions list of expired domains and give commentary to how you can use the domains, if you're starting a business or if you have an existing business. So sign up for that, subscribe to that. And then let me show you the auctions real quick. So I go in and I give a daily auction list. These are expired domains. I encourage you to come visit. Take a read for yourself. I basically go through, I research these domain names, and I give you a list of daily domain names. I mean, I provide commentary on those that I think are most important, and then I give you just a list. So here are a few geo service keyword domains in auction for the 15th. So these are the very names that we're talking about, trying to find and actually flip and develop. Now, I also provide buy it now closeouts, and so just like the domain that you saw here for Georgetown Tree Service, it was a buy it now. So I take lists like this, and for instance, here on March the 4th, I did a geo bonus, which was strictly nothing but geo um, domain names. So whether it was state, whether it was city, and you can see the different keywords. So you may want to use this list just to get you started. And if you notice that there's an asterisk by a domain name, that means that that domain name is actually available for hand registration. So with that, like I said, that's the end of this tutorial. I hope and wish you much success. Please leave me comments there at the bottom should you have questions, or come visit kickstartcommerce.com, send me an email message, and I'll be glad to um, contact you, reach out to you, and answer your questions. All right, that's it for this tutorial. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.